It is truly a disturbed individual that prefers nightmare over reality.
Boy howdy, I sure do like this game, haha! Nightmare Reaper is truly brilliant. It's a perfect storm of style and mechanics coming together to create an experience that keeps the player either riding the high of a power trip, or eagerly continuing to play in the hopes of finding a weapon that'll make them say,
Oh my goodness!
You play as a very disturbed young girl with a very troubled past, landing her in one of the happiest places on Earth, an insane asylum, complete with pants-shittingly terrifying power outages, and Tormented Soul ASMR. As a result of such delightful accommodations, our protagonist, who I'm gonna call the Reaper, is tormented by violent nightmares. Oh, I'm sorry, did I say she was tormented? See, what I meant to say was, she becomes the tormentor. Here's a few things you need to know before we get into what I really want to talk about. The soundtrack by Andrew Hulshult is prime demon slaughtering material. Strengthening the Reaper through these cute little mini-games played on a Game Boy Advance SP is really charming, but you do have the option of turning off the game portions and just treating them like skill trees. You start out the game slow and weak, but by the end you become a triple jumping, lightning kicking, grapple hooking, air dashing, ground stomping, lava and acid immune force of nature. But let's get to the real star of the show here, guns. Lots of guns. And not just guns, the auto crossbow for Van Helsing wannabes.
Sure, they're dying, but it's got a great beat.
The Mega Blaster for super fighting robots. The Holy Whip, perfect for killing vampires. The Buzzsaw Gun, perfect for cutting weeds and everything else. Triple-barreled pirate cannon. Dual P90 machine guns that empty your ammo faster than I empty glasses of chocolate milk. The Orbital Satellite Cannon. Necromantic Skull for summoning an army of Mini Nuke Launcher. The Judge for enforcers of the law. Dual battle axes, sword and shield, claymore, magic tomes, and staves. Guaranteed to put the dungeons back in your dragons. Or how about this? A sawed-off shotgun that, due to the random projectile modifier combined with explosive ammo, fires clusters of arrows that explode on contact. Yes, modifiers. Weapons above gray rarity have modifiers that can turn a lackluster weapon into one that you're going to want to keep for the rest of the game. Just this modifier alone has so much potential for mischief and game-breaking fun. On that note, let me tell you some stories about my time through the recent 1.0 release. So there I was, getting my ass kicked in the early levels because I hadn't played in a while, when I picked up a legendary pump-action shotgun with the homing modifier, an exceedingly rare mod that I've only gotten once in my entire 35 hours of playtime. I now had a gun that, as long as an enemy was in my line of sight, they would be set on fire, die, and have a 50% chance of dropping coins so I could buy more upgrades. Sure, it made the game a snooze fest for a while, but that coin chance was helping me fast-track upgrades so I could get to the really good stuff, like double jumping and keeping level 2 weapons between stages. It wasn't until the randomly spawning doctor offered me 125,000 for it that I finally said goodbye. After that, I went without a good weapon for a while, dabbled a bit in a double-barreled shotgun and an M1 Garand, complete with bayonet and a very satisfying ping sound effect. You know the one. Got a lot of use out of an auto crossbow with crit chance and leech mods. For a minute I thought this P90 with explosive ammo would be my new baby, but that's when it appeared. The gun that would shape the next 15 hours or so of my playthrough. A gun with power, utility, and efficiency. A legendary demolitionist rifle with a 21% chance to not expend ammo, explosive shots level 2, and overload. This gun took out everything with extreme prejudice. It wasn't as good against single targets because of the recoil, which I spent a lot of time wrestling with, but for situations against hordes of enemies, it could not be beat. And the grenade launching alt-fire was just the icing on the cake. Fantastic for when I couldn't stand in one place very long and needed to thin the crowd. Many hours later, I finally found a replacement, a legendary P90 with 28% stun chance, which, considering how fast these things spit out bullets, it might as well be 100%, explosive ammo 2 once again, and random projectile. I eagerly equipped it and pulled the trigger. I never did figure out what these heated shards were, but I figured they weren't much better than regular bullets, so I re-rolled it at the doctor and got coin chance instead. At this point, I was able to keep 2 weapons between stages, so I still had the demo rifle just in case the situation called for spraying and praying. Later on, I found another demo rifle that I lovingly referred to as Marble Madness. As for right now, I'm currently zooming through New Game Plus with this beastly shotgun. Level 1 weapons in NG Plus have a chance of getting a damage multiplier along with the usual mods, otherwise they'd be pretty useless against the tougher enemies. As far as issues go, I really only have one big one. You have to do these arenas to get jade coins for upgrades, and they're fun and all, but they have some problems. Almost every round I end up with 1 or 2 enemies that hang out in some secluded hallway or room, and I have to go hunt them down to start the next round. That, and there's a really long wait between rounds that throws off my groove. I think arenas would be a lot more enjoyable if they just kept spawning enemies until the player couldn't survive any longer, and then just give rewards based on time survived, kill combos, etc, etc. In their current state, I don't like to bother much with arenas, though having level 1 of Doom in here was an awesome addition. Nightmare Reaper has quickly become one of my favorite games on Steam, and I'm greatly looking forward to future updates or the sequel, Nightmare Relapse. I'm calling it Blazing Bit Games. That title is perfect. Thanks a lot for watching. Dragon Quest IV was going to be next, but I got an email from a company that I never thought I'd hear from, and I'm really excited to talk about their new game. Become a Spooky Scary subscriber so you don't miss out, and I'll see you then. This is A Skeleton, signing out.